Universal God of Destruction tournament has officially begun, with Goku entering the first round against Universe 6's Botamo in the very first episode that carries on over into the Universal God of Destruction tournament. What's going on, guys? Entertainment Gaming here today, presenting my official breakdown review for Dragon Ball Super episode 33. Be surprised, Universe 6. This is Super Saiyan Son Goku carrying on over to Dragon Ball Super episode 34, Piccolo versus Frost. Now, Piccolo versus Frost, yes, Piccolo will go up against Frost. Why? Mainly being that Goku was eliminated during this episode. Now, first things first, I will say that I was heavily disappointed by the end result of Botamo versus Goku, only because the manga adaptation featured a much more lengthy battle as opposed to the anime version of it. But of course, we have Botamo versus Goku. Now, Botamo's skin is very, very different, unlike anything Goku has ever encountered before, because Goku was actually up against the wall on this one until he actually found a way to eliminate Botamo via grabbing him by his legs and tossing him out the ring. But prior to that, Goku was actually unleashing a cluster of attacks, which included a Kamehameha wave that did not phase Botamo at all. Interestingly enough, Botamo was actually throwing his weight around against Goku in the early goings of this battle. He was bouncing around all throughout the glass ceiling of the dome, just pretty much trying to catch Goku off guard, in which case he did, and that kind of surprised Goku in a way because he didn't really expect that from such a big character. But essentially, Vegeta was telling Goku that he needed to use his head, to use his headbutts, and Goku was actually unleashing a cluster of attacks via punching him and kicking him, but it had little to no effect. And as Goku was punching him, we see Botamo, continuously walk forward, pushing Goku towards the edge until that forced Goku to grab Botamo by the legs and judo throw him over to his head and onto the floor, which caused Universe 7 to claim the very first round of the Universal God of Destruction tournament. Now, what was really funny here was the fact that Champa was throwing a fit. Champa was on the ground, he was crying, he was complaining, he was bitching, only because he did not want to lose, and Beerus was celebrating. I mean, that was the first time I ever saw Beerus actually cheer Goku on for once. It was really hilarious, and the fact that Botamo came back crying behind the sofa was even better, because he actually came back, while Champa was on the ground, complaining and stuff, and you see Botamo go back there and he was just like complaining and crying and stuff. It was really hilarious. But then we have round 2 of the Universal God of Destruction tournament, which led to Frost entering the battle against Goku. Now, I was very wrong about Frost, because I had the assumption that Frost, being an Arcosian, aka Frieza clansman, of being a part of the same race and looking essentially the same as Frieza, I had the assumption that he was going to be just as strong as Frieza, but it turned out to be the opposite, because as Frost engaged Goku, we get to see Goku, having the edge over Frost. But prior to that, we get to see Frost, encountering Goku. They had the handshake similar to how they had it in the manga, and even after shaking Goku's hand, Frost went on ahead to walk on over to Universe 7 and pretty much tell them that, this is going to be a very awesome battle. I thank you all for being here and stuff. He was very, very polite, and Krillin made the notion that they wish they had that kind of Frieza in their universe as opposed to the one that they had, and they keep mentioning and they keep bringing up Frieza because they don't really know his name like that, so of course they always reference Frieza. But then we get to see Goku in his base form fighting Frost, and it was really cool here because Frost at first caught Goku off guard. He wrapped his legs around Goku's head and he slammed him onto the ground, and Goku was a little troubled by this, but Goku knew going into this that he was going to be a lot stronger than how Botamo was, and a lot more cunning, because he faced someone very similar to Frost, that being Frieza. And as Goku and Frost were engaging all throughout the dome, we get to see Frost transform into what looked like Frieza's third transform state. And what was really awesome here was the fact that, Goku felt a little challenged when fighting up against this form, but not entirely, because in the manga we get to see Frost do that little finger beam where, Frieza did the exact same one on Planet Namek, but in this episode we never really got to see that, so that was a little upsetting. Goku was actually unleashing his Kamehameha waves and stuff, and again, the second Kamehameha wave of the show proved to be a fail, because this time around, unlike Botamo, who absorbed the Kamehameha wave, Frost cut through the Kamehameha wave and, like Bill Goldberg, Roman Reigns speared Goku right onto the ground. It was very vicious, and I actually enjoyed it because I'm a wrestling fan. So as we saw Frost cut through the Kamehameha wave, he speared Goku right down, and Goku's there, they're interacting, they're talking, and Goku doesn't seem that phased by what Frost was doing, which kind of like caught Frost off guard a little bit, because he was very surprised. And Goku's talking to him about having another transformed state, in which case was true, because Frost transformed into his final form, in which case we saw him standing over Goku, and Goku then went on ahead to transform into a Super Saiyan, not a Super Saiyan God, but a Super Saiyan. And that leaves a lot of questions and speculations as to why he chose to transform into a Super Saiyan as opposed to a Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, because of course the regular Super Saiyan form is below that of a Super Saiyan Blue transform state. So again, we get to see Goku fight up against Frost, and at first I thought that Frost was going to have the edge, but in fact, similar to how Golden Frieza fought Goku in the early rounds and Frieza was getting the best out of Goku, Goku was getting the best out of Frost. And what was surprising enough was was the fact that once Frost charged Goku and he went for the punch, Goku grabbed his punch, he caught his punch, and he was able to beat Frost down. Goku beat Frost down so bad that when Frost got back up, his legs were shaky, he was tired, he was blown up, and Frost, he couldn't believe that he actually was going up against someone who was just as strong, even stronger than he was. And what was very, very interesting to note about this was the fact that Champa was very surprised because he didn't really expect for Goku to transform, and Kabe was too. Kabe did not expect Goku to become a Super Saiyan because he had never seen a Super Saiyan of that magnitude in that color. Now that leaves a lot of open-ended questions as to what Kabe was talking about here. Like, are the Saiyans in Universe 6 different in terms of transformed levels than the ones in Universe 7? Because if he's talking about never having to see that form before, what kind of transformations do they have in Universe 6? Are their colors different? Is their size different? Like what changes here? Now, Kabe was very surprised. Champa was very surprised. Hit opened up his eyes, and he completely disregarded Goku's transformation state, almost as if he didn't really care. And you can clearly see that because once he opened up his eyes to see what was going on, he immediately closed them right back up because he didn't really have too much concern as to what was going on, which leaves me to believe that Hit is going to be such a problem, because if he was able to completely disregard everything that was going on, how powerful is he for him not to be concerned? Now, again, we have Final Form Frost versus Super Saiyan Goku, and Goku's having the edge over Frost until, of course, we see that Goku was starting to fade in and out, somewhat almost as if he was losing consciousness, as if he was about to faint, and something was up with Goku, and Frost immediately picked that up, and he capitalized by kicking Goku outside of the ring. And as Goku fell outside of the ring, everyone was shocked, almost as if they saw a ghost. Now, Frost was standing over Goku, he was huffing and puffing, almost as if he was also confused. We see Goku fade out from a Super Saiyan back to his base form, and now we have Piccolo going up against Frost in next week's episode, in which case we do see some very interesting things, one of them being that Piccolo is desperately trying to use the special beam cannon, and in which there was one shot in particular where we get to see Piccolo using the multi-image technique, where there were multiple Piccolos standing over Frost with the special beam cannon technique over him. Now that leaves me to wonder if that specific technique is going to work against Frost, because if it does cause Frost to be eliminated, what does that mean for Piccolo in the third round? Now again, we get to see Frost and Piccolo exchange quite a number of attacks, and I do think Frost is going to get the best of Piccolo until Piccolo uses that special beam cannon to toss Frost out of the ring. But again, I mean, going into next week's episode, we have Frost versus Piccolo, and that's something that's going to be very, very highly noted, because this is following up with Goku, and everybody's going to wonder, like, what happened to Goku? And again, I really hope that they explain what happened to Goku and what caused him to faint and get himself eliminated. I do believe that Goku will return, replacing Majin Buu in terms of a fighting position. Therefore, I believe that Goku will return down the road to either fight in the finals or perhaps maybe in the semifinals. I don't think Goku is essentially finished just yet, because he hasn't even gone into a Super Saiyan Blue transformation state yet, so that's just my little prediction on the matter. But I do think that Piccolo's special beam cannon is going to cause, you know, Frost to get eliminated, not necessarily get damaged to the point where he's heavily hurt, but to the point where it just causes him just to lose his balance for him to get knocked out. So leave your thoughts down below, guys. What are your overall thoughts on Goku versus Frost, and what do you guys believe caused Goku to faint, initially losing the round for his respective team? Leave your thoughts down below, guys. Once again, thank you all for watching. If you guys are Dragon Ball fans, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That way you guys don't miss a single episode of Dragon Ball Super. If you guys are hyped, if you guys cannot wait to see Frost versus Piccolo, then smash that like button. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, let me know what kind of mysteries do you guys believe Hit has, because if you go back and watch the episode and you pay attention to Hit, he wasn't too concerned as to what was going on, because again, I don't think he truly cares about this tournament. I don't think that he truly cares about the motives here between Champa and Beerus and why they're fighting and having this tournament to begin with, which leads me to believe that I do think that, you know, he's gonna have other motives and other agendas and stuff. But leave your overall thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching. Once again, tune in for the next episode, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys in the next update. Take it easy, everybody. Peace.